Hi, I'm Owen Castle Padiachi, formerly from Phoenix. I'm 31 years old. I've got two kids, a boy and a girl. I grew up in Phoenix. Basically, I've always been into church. I've always been someone that enjoyed music, band, playing the guitar, drums. However, I've never been someone who learned the word. I mean, I used to be just the guy that just ticks a box, sign the register when he goes to a church on a Sunday. Then the lifestyle started to change. I noticed that, alcohol, a bit of the drugging, woman, that type of stuff. And over the years, as it went on, it started getting more and more and more quite hectic. And I eventually ended up on sugars, which is hunga. And that really turned my life upside down because I ended up on the streets for about 4 years. Last year, at the beginning of last year, everything was okay for me because I cleaned up in 2023 and God was good to me. I opened up my own contact center and things were going really well. And pride got the best of me and I ended up relapsing. I said to myself, I'm going to go and jump off the Mshlanga Pier. And as I was walking, I heard this voice at the back of my head that said, stop. So I stopped, looked around, and there was no one there. And I looked to the right, and then there's a big sign on the wall that says, Grace, come as you are. So I walked into this door, and I see everybody's all jovial, laughing and bubbling. And I'm like, okay. And I see this big writing, which is the board at the outside, which was come as you are, whether you're broken, you're filthy, if you, etc., etc. I'm like, I've never ever been to a church before that says, come as you are. So come as you are. So I was like, okay, cool. And the lady instructed me, she's like, if you want to go to church, the church is upstairs. Now, I'm asking God, what's going on? What is it that you really want me to see? It's another church. And I went up and I had the beautiful praise and worship session. And that is when I felt convicted inside that something was missing. And I just went on my knees and I said, Lord, you take control. And as I walked down the stairs, I met this lady by the name of Diane. And she looks at me and she's like, I'm sorry, you're new here. And I've been to a lot of churches before, and especially with multitudes of people. It's very rare for one person to see a new person. And I wasn't dressed up very untidy. And I'm like, yep, I'm new. And she's like, okay, would you like a cup of coffee or a cappuccino? So I'm like, okay, hold on now. This is me having a conversation with God. And I'm like, okay. I'll just start I'm homeless. I'm currently going through a roster, which we call it, which is a withdrawal symptom. And what is it that you give me coffee? I'm a para. I'm on the streets. You give me coffee. I want to go kill myself, but you give me coffee. Okay, no problem. Would you like something to eat? I said, okay. And she made me a nice cheese toast sandwich. I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget it. So while I was on the street, I used to come every single day, spend my time here from like 8 o'clock in the morning till 1 p.m. And then I needed to go because as someone who's in addiction or smoking sugars, you have to go and get your next fix. And within a space of 2 weeks, I ended up broken once again. As I'm saying, I was on the streets and I ended up at a center called Jump It Mission. With nothing. And I decided to just say, all I needed to do now was submit. So I joined in Jump It Mission. The prayer is everything. You've got to pray. There's 5 times a day corporate prayer, and there's 4 times a day Bible study. So from the time you wake up in the morning till the time you go to bed, you're in the Word. Now here I am, someone who doesn't know nothing about the Bible. But I said, okay, fine. And we ended up, we had an altar call on that Tuesday, because I ended up on the Tuesday, altar call was on that Wednesday. And I heard this still voice again that said, submit. submit. I said to myself, Lord, you take control. I've done things in this world. I've always tried to do it on my own understanding, and I started reading the word more. The more that I read the word, the more it opened up to me. The more that I paid more attention to him in fasting and praying, he opened up to me, and I got to hear his voice. I've been on drugs countless times, going, coming out, going, coming out. But this time around, it was different because I know the word now. I came from a broken home. I can blame it. I can blame the home. I can blame everything else that my family left me at a very young age, that I had to fend for my mom at a very young age. I had to grow up at the age of 8 years old. But I have a Father in heaven that loves me. And what I do now is I work only for the kingdom. That's what I want to do. I want to now only go around and serve him only. Most importantly, I'd like to give all praise and glory goes to Jesus, no one else. I now play the guitar. I now read. I now can speak the word of God, and I'm just trusting, praying that whatever the plans that he has moving forward for me is not mine, but it's his. So I'm grateful to God.